Alright kids, so we're about 11 days out. Have you been having fun yet? Has this been just a walk in the park? Has this been just a ray of sunshine? Has just pissing in a fan fun? Could you have any more fun? I thought I'd go through the different scandals that have come through just in October. Just the things we found out in October. Now, I'm immediately going to cheat here a little bit because I'm going to talk about what started all this, which was Hillary's email server. But the fact that as of today, they've reopened up the FBI scandal, or the case, they've reopened up the case on Hillary's email server. I thought it might be instructive to go through the timeline on how we got here. March 2nd, 2015. The New York Times reports that Hillary Clinton used a private email server while serving as Secretary of State. March 10th, 2015. Clinton defends her use of the private server, saying it was for convenience, so she could use one device for personal and business use. Looking back, it would have been better for me to use two separate phones and two separate email accounts. I thought using one device would be simpler. Obviously, it hasn't worked out that way. July 24th, 2015, the Inspectors General at the State Department and in the Office of the Director of National Intelligence asked the Justice Department to review whether classified information was compromised in Clinton's use of a private email server. August 2015, a federal official confirms the FBI is investigating. August 11, 2015, the Clinton campaign says she has directed that her server be turned over to the Justice Department. May 25, 2016, the Inspector General of the State Department issues a report critical of Clinton's use of private email, saying that the department policies dating to 2005 require that normal day-to-day operations be conducted on government computers. July 1, 2016, Attorney General Loretta Lynch says she will accept recommendations from the FBI and career prosecutors in the email case in an attempt to dispel criticism of her potential conflict of interest after she met with former President Bill Clinton on the tarmac of the Phoenix airport. FBI Director James Comey announces on July 5, 2016, his results of the investigation and his recommendation not to prosecute Clinton. July 6, 2016, Attorney General Loretta Lynch takes the FBI's recommendation and announces the Department of Justice will not press charges against Clinton or anyone involved. July 7, 2016, Comey appears before the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee for more than 4 hours to defend his decision. July 11, 2016, Republican lawmakers sent a letter to the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia asking for an investigation into whether or not Clinton had lied to Congress when she testified to Congress about the email server. July 31st, 2016. Clinton appears on Fox News Sunday where she is asked about her claim that she never sent or received classified information. Clinton responded by saying Comey said my answers were truthful and what I've said is consistent with what I have told the American people, that there were decisions discussed and made to classify retroactively certain of the emails. But that wasn't true. Comey told Congress during the hearing there was classified material emailed. September 7th, 2016. Comey wrote a memo to his employees defending the decision not to recommend charges. Those suggesting that we are political or part of some fix, either don't know us or are full of baloney, and maybe some of both, the director wrote. September 28, 2016. Comey appears for a congressional oversight hearing but spends much of the time defending the decision. You can call us wrong, but don't call us weasels. We are not weasels. Whether or not you agree with the result, this was done the way you want it to be done. October 28, 2016. Comey announces the Bureau is reviewing the new emails that could be relevant to the Bro and Clinton server. Now we haven't even gotten into that 30,000 of them were deleted, or if they were hacked, or the fact that she did use multiple devices. But there you go. That's pretty much the beginning of it. Now, let's look at not the emails that were taken We don't know if any emails were taken from this server, but we are going to look at the WikiLeaks emails because, it's emails. So, buckle up, buckaroo! When top Clinton aide Douglas Band wrote the memo, he was a central player at the Clinton Foundation and the president of his own corporate consulting firm. Over the course of 13 pages, he made a case that his multiple roles had served the interests of the Clinton family and its charity. In doing so, Band also detailed a circle of enrichment, which he raised money for the Clinton Foundation from top-tier corporations such as Dow Chemical and Coca-Cola that were clients of his firm, Tenio, while pressing many of those same donors to provide personal income to the former president. The system has drawn scrutiny from the Republicans who say it allowed corporations and wealthy supporters to pay for entry to a popular former president and one-time Secretary of State who is now the Democratic presidential nominee. The memo made public Wednesday by the anti-secrecy group WikiLeaks lays out an aggressive strategy behind lining up consultant contracts and paid speaking engagements for Bill Clinton that added tens of millions of dollars to the family fortune, including during the years that Hillary Clinton led the State Department. It describes how Band helped run what he called Bill Clinton Inc., obtaining in-kind services for the president and his family, for personal travel, hospitality, vacation, and the like. Band wrote that the Tenio partners had raised in excess of $8 million for the foundation and $3 million in paid speaking fees for Bill Clinton. $3 million for just speaking. He said he had secured contracts for the former president that would pay out $66 million over the subsequent 9 years if the deals remained in place.
We're in the money. We're in the money.
For instance, Band wrote that Kelly arranged for the former president to meet the chief executive of Coca-Cola in January 2009 at the Clintons' home in Washington. In all, according to the Band's memo, Coke contributed $4.33 million to the foundation between 2004 and 2010. Records show that UBS paid Clinton about $2 million in speaking fees between 2011 and 2015 for a series of appearances, generally alongside former President George W. Bush. The company also paid Hillary Clinton $225,000 for a 2013 speech.
We're in the money. We're in the money.
Another achievement cited by Band, Laureate International Universities, a chain for-profit international colleges, which donated to the foundation and agreed to pay Bill Clinton $3.5 million a year to serve as honorary chancellor. It'd work if you could get it. And what did she say in that 2013 speech? My dream is a hemispheric common market with open trade and open borders. Sometime in the future with energy that is as green and sustainable as we can get it, powering growth and opportunity for every person in the hemisphere. Now, while she has come out against the Trans-Pacific Partnership and has said other trade deals such as NAFTA have hurt the U.S., the speech experts showed the former First Lady saying a concerted plan to increase trade will be necessary moving forward. So even though on her website she says she's not for open borders, clearly she's telling big bankers she is. So obviously we can't have her words coming out and causing her problems. These emails are becoming a real problem. And we certainly don't want to get prosecuted for them, even though it looks like they've reopened it. But she did do her best to keep the FBI from prosecuting her. Exclusive. Clinton headlined a fundraiser for a campaign group which gave $500,000 to wife of FBI boss who investigated her emails and is closely linked to Hillary's bid for power. DailyMail.com reveals just how closely linked Clinton is to the PAC, which gave massive donation to Virginia politician married to FBI Deputy Director. Common Good VA gave $500,000 to Jill McCabe, whose husband Andrew ran a probe into Clinton's secret server, which ended with no prosecution. PAC is controlled by Terry McAuliffe, Virginia governor and Clinton ultra-loyalist, and Hillary headline fundraiser just before it gave McCabe cash.
We're in the money.
On top of that, series of Clinton powerhouses that have been on the payroll of the PAC include Robbie Mook, her campaign manager. And Clinton family financiers poured cash into its coffers, including Doug Band, who was Bill Clinton's closest aide. Well, that name sounds familiar, doesn't it? McCabe denies conflict of interest, but one group said a $500,000 donation kind of looks like a payoff. The campaign won't say if Clinton met Joe McCabe at the fundraiser. The Political Action Committee of Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe, a Democrat and longtime ally of the Clinton family, donated nearly $500,000 to state Senate campaign of the wife of an FBI official who helped oversee the investigation into Clinton's private email server. McAuliffe's political organization gave $467,000 to Dr. Jill McCabe's 2015 state Senate campaign in Virginia. The Wall Street Journal reported. McCabe's husband, Andrew McCabe, works for the FBI and was one of the top figures responsible for overseeing the probe into Clinton's email practices while she served as Secretary of State. McAuliffe, a longtime friend and advisor to the Clintons, encouraged McCabe to run for the state Senate seat and help direct funds to her campaign totaling $675,000. Well, you got to give her credit for trying, I guess. Well, you get a lot of money from those speeches. You gotta spend it somewhere. You sure as hell are not gonna spend it from all the Islamists who donate from you. They just don't have enough. The Middle East Forum's Islamist Money and Politics project has revealed the top 10 recipients of the 2015-16 campaign contributions from individuals who subscribe to the same Islamic supremacism as Khomeini, Bin Laden, and ISIS. Hillary Clinton tops the list, raking in $41,000 from prominent Islamists. This includes $19,000 from senior officials on the Council of American Islamic Relations, declared a terrorist organization by the United Arab Emirates on November 15, 2014. Still, it's just a pittance. I mean, that wouldn't have paid for her bribe to the FBI.
No job is too big, no fee is too big.
And probably the FBI is getting sick of making a fool of, especially when they uncover this. Washington, federal law enforcement officials said Friday that new emails uncovered in the closed investigation into Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server were discovered after the FBI seized electronic devices belonging to Huma Abedin, a top aide of Mrs. Clinton, and her husband, Anthony Weiner. The FBI is investigating illicit text messages that Weiner sent to a 15-year-old girl in North Carolina. Well, that guy just doesn't know when to stop, does he?
Have you ever seen a grown man naked?
The Bureau told Congress on Friday that it had uncovered new emails related to the Clinton case. One federal official said they numbered in the thousands, potentially reigniting an issue that has weighed on the presidential campaign and offering a lifeline to Donald J. Trump less than 2 weeks before the election. And if you'll recall, Trump said, who knows, with Weiner being so close, what kind of access that he had. Looks like he was right.
So Uma now is one of the people that it all sort of came through Uma. Who is Uma married to? One of the great sleazebags of our time. Anthony Weiner. Did you know that? She's married to Anthony Weiner. You know, the little bing, 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 bum, bum. I love you very much. So, now think of it. So, Uma is getting classified secrets. She's married to Anthony Weiner, who's a perv. No, he is. He is. So she's married. Now, these are confidential documents. She's married to this guy who's... And guess what happens to Anthony Weiner? A month ago, I see he went to work for a public relations firm. Do you believe it? Now, if you think that Uma isn't telling Anthony, who she's probably desperately in love with, in all fairness to Anthony, because why else would she marry this guy? Can you believe it? Can't see straight. But if you would... Look, think of it. So it's coming through Uma. She's got a lot of stuff, a lot of information. Who knows? So she's married to a bad guy. I know Anthony Weiner for a long time. I knew before they caught him with the bing, 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 right? And he was a bad guy then. It turned out that he was a really bad guy. So she's married to Anthony Weiner. Do you think there's even a 5% chance that she's not telling Anthony Weiner, now of a public relations firm, what the hell is coming across? Do you think there's even a little bit of a chance? I don't think so. Are there any women in this room who are in love with their husbands who wouldn't be telling them everything? You would or wouldn't? No, she said, I wouldn't, but I'm in love. No, you will.
Huma's probably getting testy, given that she can't even keep up with all the crooked corruption that's going on. The email from Huma Abedin, Clinton's deputy chief of staff at the State Department, was addressed to Podesta and campaign manager Robbie Mook. Hillary Clinton was a director of the foundation at the time. Singapore and Hong Kong officials reportedly were also vying to convene the CGI meeting in their countries, the Clinton Global Initiative. But the North African nation ultimately hosted it in a 5-star hotel in Marrakesh, Morocco in 2015. Abedin told Podesta and Mook that Morocco was not CGI's first choice. The actual meeting was paid for by OCP, not the guys that created RoboCop. The Moroccan government-owned mining company that has been accused of serious human rights violation. Maybe it is the guys that did RoboCop. Clinton vigorously supported the Moroccan king when she was Secretary of State, and the U.S.-financed Export-Import Bank gave OCP a $92 million loan guarantee during her tenure as Secretary of State. The mining company also contributed between $5 million and $10 million to the Clinton Foundation, according to the charity's website. And how many people, on the backs of how many people that in their minds died to get this done. Abedin described the arrangement in the email as having been organized by her boss, Hillary Clinton. She created this mess, and she knows it, she told Podesta and Mook. She said the Moroccan deal was entirely dreamed up by her boss. This was HRC's idea. Our office approached the Moroccans, and they 100% believe that they are doing this at her request. The king has personally committed approximately $12 million, both for the endowment and to support the meeting. Hillary Rodham Clinton. How much more corrupt can you get? Well, when the IPS felt immense pressure to complete the review quickly and not label anything as classified, according to interview notes from a State Department official whose name wasn't disclosed in the FBI summary, the FBI summaries also indicated that a powerful group of very high-ranking state officials, referred to as the shadow government, met every Wednesday afternoon to discuss all things related to releasing or withholding emails that were on Clinton's server. The group included Patrick Kennedy and Jonathan Feiner, who serves as the current Secretary of State, John Kerry's Chief of Staff, according to the notes. One of the people brought in to work on Clinton's emails was possibly involved in the Lois Lerner IRS Internal Revenue Service situation. That was referring to the tax agency's targeting of conservative nonprofit groups ahead of the 2012 election. Multiple witnesses told the FBI they felt agency leadership circumvented the normal procedures when preparing the emails, particularly those mentioning Benghazi and Libya for release to Congress and the public. Some of the record-keeping officials said they felt intimidated each time they were proposed upgrading and redacting part of an email because it was classified. Those officials described the immense pressure they felt to avoid classifying anything with the 296 Benghazi documents. Clinton's legal team at first informed the State Department that it had prepared 14 banker boxes of printed emails for production to the government. However, when the officials arrived at her lawyer's office to retrieve the emails, they only found 12. Officials are unsure of what happened to the other 2 boxes. So what else have we found that may or may not be directly related to the WikiLeaks emails? Well, Donna Brazil. Among these emails was an email from Donna Brazil titled, "From time to time, I get questions in advance to Podesta that suggested that Brazil had received a town hall event question in advance and was sharing it with Hillary Clinton. Clinton was later posed a similar question from the audience member at the CNN TV1 town hall event. Both CNN and Brazil denied that she had received the question in advance. It was just a total coincidence, I'm telling you. Brazil said that the email may have been altered. Robert Graham of the technology blog Errata Security used the DKIM keys in the email source code to perform a test, concluded, nope, the email had not been altered. Graham said it was unlikely that the hackers could have altered the DKIM key. Criticism of conservative Catholicism. The leak revealed an email about conservative Catholicism sent by John Halpin, a senior fellow at the Center of American Progress. The email mentioned an article about media mogul Rupert Murdoch and his decision to raise his children in the Catholic Church. Halpin wrote, "Many of the most powerful elements of the conservative movement are all Catholic, many converts. It's amazing bastardization of the faith. They must be attracted to the systemic thought and severely backward gender relations and must be totally unaware of Christian democracy." While there was no reply from Podesta available in the email chain, Palmieri responded, "I imagine they think it's the most socially acceptable, politically conservative religion. Their rich friends wouldn't understand if they became evangelical." Supporters and members of Donald Trump's campaign called the email exchange evidence of an anti-Catholic sentiment in the Democratic Party. Halpin verified that he'd written the email, though he contested the claims that it was anti-Catholic, stated it was taken out of context. And it's always taken out of context when you guys are busted. He explained he sent the email to his Catholic colleagues to make a fleeting point about perceived hypocrisy and flaunting one's faith by prominent conservative leaders. Clinton's Wall Street speeches. We spoke about this a little bit, but I'll go into kind of a summary. One of the emails contained 25 excerpts from Clinton's paid Wall Street speeches that a staffer had flagged as politically problematic. Another leaked document included 80 pages of Clinton's Wall Street speeches. The excerpts came up in two of the presidential debates between Clinton and Trump. In one of the debates, the Lester Holt quoted an excerpt saying the politicians need both a public and private position and asked Clinton if it was okay for politicians to be two-faced. Clinton replied, "As I recall, that was something I said about Abraham Lincoln after having seen the wonderful Steven Spielberg movie, Abraham Lincoln. It was a masterclass watching President Lincoln get Congress to approve the 13th Amendment. It was principled and strategic. It was a fucking movie." I mean, I don't know how accurate it was, and I really like Steven Spielberg, but that's pretty pathetic. I was making a point that it is hard sometimes to get Congress to do what you want to do. In the third presidential debate, the moderator Chris Wallace quoted a speech excerpt where Clinton says, "My dream is a hemispheric common market with open trade and open borders," and asked if she was for open borders. She replied, "If you went on to read the rest of the sentence, I was talking about energy." Sure you were. Sure you were. Now let's talk about the Project Veritas videos, where we have one, collusion between the Hillary Clinton campaign, coordination and collusion between the Hillary Clinton campaign and the 501c4s and the 527 groups, where they used people to instigate violence at Trump events, where they paid the 501c4 to put Donald Ducks out at all the Trump events to talk to in Donald Duck people in Donald Duck costumes to, one, agitate people, and two, to make a point about Donald ducking his taxes, a clear violation of campaign laws. Three, to come up with different ways to figure out how to bus voters into different states, specifically between Michigan and Indiana in this case. And Scott Vogel proudly saying how they've been busing in people for 50 years, demonstrating that there's clearly voter fraud going on. And four, wiring $20,000 from foreign money in exchange for access. And clearly they were showing that they were going to give access either to President Obama after he got out of office, or to Mrs. Clinton in the inauguration. So that's been very problematic for her. And finally, her health. We can talk about her health that's been going on. She's been hiding for 10 days. We know about her falling over after the debate, getting into the car, or after one of her speaking events. We've seen the coughing fits. Clearly there's still something going on there. And then when she said she had pneumonia, minutes later she was seen hugging a kid, probably giving the kid pneumonia, or there's actually something wrong with her. Now, let's not forget though, Trump said pussy.
Whatever you want.
Grab him by the pussy.
So, weigh those two out, because they're pretty close in my opinion. I mean, the scales are evenly balanced. Everything I've said all so far about Clinton, and Trump said pussy.
Whatever you want.
Grab him by the pussy.
America, I think you know what you need to do. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Like the video if you like the video. If you don't like the video, don't like the video. And please comment on anything you've seen here. I'm more than happy to engage with you. Thanks a lot for watching, and more on the way.